Hey guys, I'm SkiT, and welcome to just a tutorial of how to make a thumbnail because I'm out of ideas. But also I was like, you know what? I just realized my thumbnails actually look pretty professional for a program that I use for free. So here it is. I use GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Program. I guess it's the full name. But yeah, as you can see, GIMP, GIMP. So what I do to make my thumbnails is, first of all, I would usually, like, for the type of videos I would make it mostly for is for gaming, more specifically Geometry Dash, which I find is one of the most easiest videos to make a thumbnail for. But let me open up a file for you guys to show you how professional they can look. Okay, so this thumbnail right here, it's pretty professional looking. Like, you see the shadow effect that I have behind the word "the cycle," and yeah, there's also a shadow effect behind this icon right here, which is mine. Also one right here behind my SkiT's gaming logo thing. And also the heart icon. And also, if you really haven't noticed that much, over here, screenshot of one part of the level. Here, screenshot of another part of the level. And pretty much what's going on here is that I just took like 2 screenshots, took some files from like the internet, not internet files, like just some images from the internet. Like, I looked up, like, when I first got this program, I looked up user coins, and then I put them here. And then also the hard icon, I also looked it up and put it here. And this right here, well, I just easily made my icon from this icon making kit, and I just saved it. But like, I'm not going to teach you how to make a Geometry Dash icon. More specifically, how to make not a Geometry Dash icon and the Geometry Dash thumbnail. More specifically, well, less specifically actually, I'll be teaching you guys how to make a thumbnail of anything. And by anything, I mean, well, most things, because I can't say everything. So how about this? I'm gonna look for a file. I feel like my voice got shaky there. So I'm gonna look for like a screenshot that I have, and I'll see if it's good for thumbnails. You don't necessarily need a screenshot, but sometimes it could be a good background to use, and you can use more than one also, and then edit them together. So it's like, oh wait, it's not just this; it also has this in it or something. So it's a useful hint. You don't necessarily need a screenshot. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong files. Okay, and yeah, so you can just use a screenshot. So I'm gonna look for one that seems suitable. First, I'm gonna try my best to avoid using a Geometry Dash screenshot, because, well, that's primarily, oh well, I did not mean to do that. Like, I'm trying my best not to do that. Open, and let's see, back to the screenshots. I have mostly Geometry Dash stuff going on here, so pardon. I might have to like look up into my normal images. Oh wait, no, I got a better idea. I know exactly the perfect type of image I can use. I found this on Google, and I think I edited the color to be black, but I'm not sure. So let me find the W's. There it is. Nope, I didn't. So here we are with oh crap, I did not mean for that to happen, not as a layer, but here we are. Here's the background. Super simple. You can just look up like wood, texture, background, something like that. Even if this doesn't pop up for you, maybe something that you prefer that looks better to you, you can use. And I recommend like just downloading something at a 16:9 ratio, which in other words, you can just go into the settings. Yeah, let me just quickly go on there. So let's say you want to look up a texture, and then this is what will pop up at first. Stuff like this, like different aspect ratios. Like, you'll see one that looks more like a square, another one that looks more rectangular. Yeah, like basically, like, will it fit into a YouTube thumbnail, or will it fit into a YouTube video? Easy answer, like, most of the time it won't. Sometimes you can just edit it, you know, with like the software. But if you want your job to be more easily done, or if you just want to show the whole thing, then I recommend pressing this button here, search tools, and then pick size, and then where it says larger than, don't press that, nor icon, larger, medium, because these will usually not help. Instead, press exactly, and then here I would type something like 1920 at the top, and then 1080. And then that way, that gives you like the exact resolution of like something that comes in 1080p. Or you can go to 1280 by 720, which is something 720p. Because let's say maybe the image you have, like, I don't know, it takes up like too much space in your computer, you think. So just go for something smaller. But you don't necessarily have to do that. So I'm just gonna type in 1920 by 1080. So this is how the screen should look like now. As you can see, everything is the exact same size, a perfect array of a bunch of rectangles. And basically, this is just showing you if this is the exact size that you can get like your images. Like that spacey one, that honestly looks kind of cool. I'm about to take it, because like this is actually pretty nice. I actually like it. In fact, if you guys will excuse me, I'm just gonna save image as. Okay, so here we are, guys, back to where I am. In fact, I might as well just show you the texture, the space one that I put. So if you want, this is just for the sake of an example. I'm gonna go into my file where I have the images, go to the space galaxy texture. If I can find the S's, there it should be right around here. Space galaxy. So here's the image right here. And for like, here's an example. Let's say you want to show like 2 screenshots or 2 separate parts of the video, just so it's like, wow, they're actually very different. You can go ahead. Oh, look at this bubble. But besides, like back to the topic events. Like, easy thing to do. Here's the move icon. You can move things around. Or if you feel like you're not going to move it properly, or like let's say you want part of like one screenshot to appear larger than the other, like you know when you want to stretch it, press the scale icon and then make sure you have this chain pressed together. So that way, no matter how don't stretch it from the sides or the top or bottom, stretch it from the corners, and like, it will be the exact same ratio. So that means like if you have like a picture of a stick man and if you forget to press the link icon or the chain, that way you don't make the stickman guy appear fatter or skinnier than you want him to originally. If you do this, it'll just do, this one. It will just do exactly what I just said. And I accidentally pressed undo. But yeah, but if you press these ones and you also have this thing chained chained together. If you don't, then it's just gonna do this. So let me just reset that. It's just gonna do that if you don't have the chain pressed. But no matter how much you move it around, it's not gonna do it if you have the chain pressed. So make sure you only press from the corners. So let's say you want this to be larger from, like, you can zoom out by pressing Control and in the scroll wheel. If you don't have a mouse, I think you can just press plus or minus. Yeah, you can press plus or minus, kind of like how come only mine this is working? Yep, there it is. Control plus, or just press minus or control plus or control equal. So you can press that also. And if you scale it, there you go. Like, it's going to appear larger. It might look blurry, but remember guys, this is just a YouTube thumbnail. Like, it's going to pop up in a small section of the video. So if it appears sort of blurry, you don't really have to worry too much. Alright, and let's say, oh man, I wanted to show this part of the image. Easy way you can show it, because since this is just like a texture, you don't have to really, it doesn't matter if it's like flipped or not. You can just press this button right here, the flip tool, and if you press it, most of the time it will be turned on the horizontal or vertical button. And if it's on horizontal, then press that. Or let's say you wanted the bottom part to show a little bit more, press vertical and then press it. If I'm going too fast, you can just pause it. You can just look to where my mouse is, or if I edit this, just pay close attention to what I'm clicking on. So now let's say you want to, like, of course you want it to transition from like the first one to the next one. Or let's say you want to change the position and all this stuff. Well, we'll just take everything that I just said, change the size, and let's see. I guess I'll flip it upside down. It doesn't really matter too much since this is just a up and down image. So there it is. Oh wait, wrong button. Well, whatever. I'm doing everything that I'm teaching you guys. Alright, but here's another tool. Let's say you want the image to not be like perfectly like from left to right, but let's say you want it to kind of be a little crooked, as I would say. Well, easy thing. You press, don't press this one. My bad. You press the one right next to it. In fact, by the way, guys, when you first install the program, GIMP, the toolbar is gonna appear different, but easy solution, just keep dragging it out. Like, it should come in looking like this, or something like that. I keep dragging it out until it's a row like this, in case you guys want it to be easier to look at and to follow. I would do that. And now I put on the rotate button, and then you can pretty much do whatever you want. But let's say you want to be more exact with your movements. You can always just press the up or down button, and if it moves too fast, just click it a few times. If you know exactly what you want, just put it in a decimal, like that, for example. Just type it in. And I'll move this right here. And let's say you want to do it with this one too. Oh, Also, quick tip, guys. If you want to select a, like, if you want to do an effect on a different object, it might not always work if you click on something else. Like right here, I have still the rotate button selected. But as you can see, I'm trying to click this one, but it's not working. Because over here, you have to select this layer right here. Wooden background is already selected, but I want to select a space galaxy. So you select that one, and then let's see. I'm just gonna do any arbitrary numbers, any random number, I guess. So negative 9.27. Sure, let's do that. It might take a while for it to rotate, but there it is. And let's say you don't want it to look like this weird. I literally pasted it in front of. Look, easy. You grab your eraser icon, and if I zoom in enough, you can see the eraser doesn't really do much right now. And if you want the eraser to be larger, come over here. The original size it comes in is like, I don't know, 20, like it says. I don't know. I always put it at 20 whenever I close the program. Oh yeah, make sure you don't drag it. And also, if something like this happens to you, just drag it back into this spot. Oh, and also, I think it's already going to be like this when you first install it. But if it doesn't look exactly like this from the left and right, make sure you go to Windows, and then I have single window mode. I have that enabled only because it's more convenient that way for me. So you can just move the thing up and down as much as you want. Also, if you find it difficult and you find yourself having to like drag your mouse too much like this, you can do that. Or if you see like your icon looking like become an arrow, that's how you can move it to any desired position you want. So it doesn't matter what position you want it. You can copy me exactly, or you can have your own twist onto like the configurations. But there it is. And now the eraser should do something like this. You could do that, or an easy tool, off the canvas, just click anywhere. More specifically on top of where you want to like quote crop the image. So right there, and you press shift. And let's say you want to cut not cut, but like erase directly down. You just press the control button. Or let's say you want to do an exact like 30-degree angle or something. You do this. Well, that's not a 30-degree angle precisely, but something like that. And then that's 45, another 30. I think that's a 15, I'm not sure. Oh, and that, okay, very precise. The point is, you have like your own shapes if you press shift and control at the same time. But let's say you just want it to be more open for you. Let go of control. Make sure your finger is still on shift. And then you can just basically move anywhere you want. I'm just going to do this because that's how I usually do it. And boom. It erased in a straight line for you. Or if you don't want a straight line, just do that. But for this case, I'm going to keep it in a straight line. And now you want to get rid of this? Well, it shouldn't be too hard because you just did a straight line in a large size for the eraser. And by the way, if you mess up and do something like this, you can just press the undo button. Should be somewhere here. If it's not here, then it should be in edit. There it is, undo. It'll say undo eraser or undo image crop or undo anything depending on what you just did. You can press that, or I just press Control Y to redo. That's the redo button, Control Y. Or if you undo and you accidentally press it, redo. But if you want to undo it, also press Control and Z. And back to the business. Now here we are just erasing what we don't want on the image. And there we go. Looks pretty good right now. I mean, of course it doesn't make any sense because this is just an example. I'm gonna put, let's say I'm gonna say hi to you. Alright, so I finished typing it. As you can see, it shows up right here also on this layer. Oh, you can unselect the thing now if you want. Actually, no. There. If you have the texting still selected and you want to edit it, you're going to have to, or if you want to change the font size or something, you're going to have to highlight it first and then change the font size. Like right now, you can't see it at all until I zoom in a good amount. Then you can see it. So, easy way to fix that, highlight the whole thing and move up the font size. And there it is. Let's say you don't like this font. Well, easy. You can change it to something else. But first, easy way to search all the fonts really is to look down over here. Here's all the fonts available. But if you have a general idea of which one you have, like let's say you want Times New Roman, just type in T and it should pop up somewhere down here. Like here it is, Times New Roman. And then if you want it bold, press the bold button. Make sure it's still highlighted. If it's not, highlight it again. And let's say you want it to be italic, do this. You want it underlined, do this. But since I don't want it to look like that, just because I'm making the thumbnail, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Like, let's say you're trying to make a thumbnail like fast, right? Like literally, like you want your video to be uploaded as soon as you finish watching this video. So let's say you want a different font. So let me look for one, since I can't think of any good ones. Oh wait, no, you guys don't necessarily have that font. You can also install your own fonts if you guys want. I can just put a tutorial for that. So I'm gonna use my own font, Minecraftery. It doesn't, by the way, if you select one here, it's not gonna happen here. I just wanted, it's like the text browser. Like, so you can see what is available. So just type in the word Minecraftery, for example, if you had it. The reason why I like it is because of the pixely box shape every single letter has. Not because it correlates to Minecraft exactly. And here you go. Let's say you don't like the color of the text. Change the color right here. And you have all these options. So you can change it up and down and stuff. You can move up the slider left and right. Or like over here, these are your recently selected colors. So let's say you want the color white. Just move the slider all the way down to the bottom right. Or if you know how HTML notation works, just press just put 000 FFF. And then the color blue pops up. Let's say you want another F. That's cyan. I like the color cyan personally, but because this is a tutorial and I don't need to teach you this much stuff, just put the color white if you want, because it's the easiest to see. Oh, and I guess now you're wondering, why is the letter O so hard to read? Well, because it's the color white, of course. But let's say you want to fix that. So you don't have to highlight this part. No need to do that. Hold on. What if I do this in italics? Yeah, these don't work because this is a custom font. But that's not important. I was curious, okay? So now you go here. You press alpha to selection. Now you press new layer. You don't need to mess around with the layer yet. And then here you press the select button. And then depending if you want, since you want a border around the text, I would press grow. Let's say you put something crazy like 117. Haha, Master Chief. Yeah, something like this pops up. If you were to fill in the paint bucket, everything is like a big blob of black. But then here's how you put this layer to go behind the text. You just drag it down underneath. Or if that doesn't let you do it for some reason, there's a green arrow down here, which basically means to lower this layer one step in the layer stack. Which basically means pull the layer down underneath the one that's underneath it. Like that. So let's say you actually like this style, then go ahead and keep it. But I don't like it that large, personally. I just did that for the sake of an example. So I'm gonna undo everything, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. And I'm gonna change the font size, not the grow size to something I'm more comfortable with, such as 15. And there you go. You got the border. And now you can just use the paint buckets. You could put the layer underneath, and there you go. You can also deselect, because if you forget to deselect, no matter what you do, like let's say you're trying to maybe spray paint something in the background or something like that, I don't know. It's not gonna pop up even if you select a different layer. It's just gonna pop up in this little selected area where the dotted lines are. Not the dotted lines, the dashed lines. So make sure you press select and then none. And also, just to be extra safe, because let's say you want to move the words and the border, this will happen. Or let's say you select something else, like right back here, this will happen. Unless you're actually into a good shadow and you're trying to do something like this, then go right ahead, go crazy. But if you want to move both of them at the same time without having to rearrange them exactly over and over again, you press the top layer right here. Make sure that the border is down here and that the text layer is right here. And then you press merge down. It turns them into one same layer. And then let's say you guys want it to look more professional, like the top of the text, like the top of the letters is like brighter, and then the bottom is darker. Easy. You use the alpha to selection, and then super easy tactic. You just use a paintbrush like that. Puts it like it's too dark, right? So easy solution. You turn the opacity, basically it changes the see-throughness of it. Let's say I want to turn it down to, I don't know, 66, because it's 1/3. if that looks better to you, then go right ahead. Also, you can also do that strategy that I did. Click anywhere. We'll make sure away from the dotted lines or away from the canvas just to be safe. And then press the shift button or the control as well to make a perfectly straight line for left to right. And then you're done. But if you don't like it, maybe more down. And there. But if you don't want it to be that large like the brush, once again, just change it to size again. And there you go. But since I personally like it at like these large sizes, you can do this. I'm gonna have to turn on the opacity. Put it to like 55.5. Oh, never mind. Basically, since this is just an example, I'm just gonna quickly do what I just suggested. Make the size smaller. There we go. And like right here, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. And then let's say I want to do the same thing for this. Do that. Let me go a little bit lower just because it looks better. There you go. And now, once again, select none. And there you go. Oh, and if you see like these little white pixels, just move your mouse around it. Or just zoom in and out because it's just a little glitch in the program. But like, it's not going to affect the finished product. It's not. Trust me. So there you go. There's the text. Now, if that's all you wanted, then you're done. But let's say you want to take an image from somewhere, right? Like, let's say you found a good image on Google and you want to put it in. So you just press File, Open as Layers. Do not press Open because that just makes it open up as a new project. Press Open as Layers. And then let's say I want to take... okay, so I have a picture of an old computer, Commodore. Now, right here, make sure that, like, if there's white lines around it, that's bad. Well, not bad. It depends on, like, the background is completely white. Then you have to, don't worry too much. It's just based off of context. Let's say you want it to go behind the text. You could do that. Or if you want it to be behind one of these textures, you can do that. Or the other, which is not visible at all. You could do that. So, like, let's say you would like a picture. Make sure that you save it, right? But make sure, like, when you don't edit the text yet for the name, make sure that it's a PNG, because then if it's a PNG, then you can easily, my bad, you can easily just like, it will, like when the picture comes in, it will come in popped in with like the border around it will be clear. Kind of like, let's see, a better example. Like here's a JPEG, basically means that there's no border around it, except for like the edges of the whole thing. So I'm going to open another thing, let's see. The Apple logo, only because I found it and I forgot what I used it for. I think for a video. Oh, and by the way, if you take a picture and if it's too large, easy solution, scale it down. You can scale it down to somewhere here and somewhere here. I'm just gonna make it smaller than this, and then press scale. Oh wow, 1000 by 1000. That's pretty convenient. So there you go. This is a PNG. Basically, like. The only thing that pops up in the picture is the Apple logo, not background or anything. This, however, pops up the computer and some weird white background. So you're going to have to make sure that you have like a PNG instead. Or if you want to go through all the time, you can press Add Alpha Channel, which turns it into a PNG. And then that means you can just erase everything back here and then turn this basically into this. But for time constraints and stuff, like let's say you're in a rush. Just get rid of this layer, first of all. If you accidentally did this by pressing delete layer, and there you go. Also, let me just show you what happens if I press, instead of open as layers, I press open. So I open the Apple logo and now it pops up as a completely different project. That's okay if maybe you want to make it, you know, like if you're trying to make a video, right, and you wanted to change the look of the Apple. Like let's say you want it to look more, that's a bad example. Let's say you want it to look more fancy, right? I'm just doing this just for fun, just so I can give you guys inspiration for future projects and stuff. So let's say you want it to look shiny, right? Let me make sure. Whoops, wrong button. Size. Let me make sure that the size is larger. Opacity. Yeah, like something like this, guys. Like it would be shiny like this. Or let's say, let's see, where is it? Smooth stroke, not smooth stroke. Oh wait, that would be the pencil. Never mind. Anyway. Like, let's say you want it to look shiny. Something like this. Of course, this doesn't look good, but like eventually you guys are going to learn the ins and outs of GIMP, and then you'll be able to make something like this. And then let's say you want to do that. Then you just save it, which I'll just show you in a bit when I'm done the thumbnail. Discard changes. Okay, so back to the main topic. Let me just move everything back to normal. Well, what I personally find normal, like around here. So back to the image. Let's say you don't like the apple being in the front of the text, which makes sense. Just move it down underneath the layer with the green button, or dragging it underneath like this. But if you can't do that, press the down arrow, as I said. Like, here's the up arrow in case you mess up and you go too low. Here's the down arrow. And there you go. Now, you can also do the same thing with the Apple logo, where you can give it a border. So just because I'm gonna give it a border, I wouldn't do this, but this is just for an example. So let's see. Oh, let me move it on top just to make it easier to edit. So I recommend just moving it on top just so you can see everything that you're doing. And then when you're done, like when you're done making a border, filling in the border with whatever color you want, because it doesn't necessarily have to be the color black. It could be red, blue, aquamarine, magenta, anything. Or cyan, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you put that underneath, and then once you're done, you just put it, you just merge down, and then you move the new combined layer underneath the text. So let's see, I had to press grow, and I'll pick 15 again, and I'm gonna pick the color white because it's the opposite. Oh, wrong one. Oh, make sure you don't do the mistake what I just did. If you already grew the thing, that's fine. Just press new layer, and then you're done. And then you move it underneath, select none, and merge down, and now you can move it underneath. And then you're done with that one. Now remember how I showed you guys that there was a shadow effect going on? Let me show you how to do that. So once again, alpha to selection, new layer, and this one, if you want, you can grow it, you know, to make it look like it's a border. Oh my god, that was a weird accent. And so just so it's easier to notice, I'm gonna put the border up to 20. And now, before you fill it in with the paint bucket again, like, since it's gonna be a shadow, shadows are like black, right? But like, let's say you want the shadow to be like kind of like soft, right? You want it to be kind of not completely black, but kind of grayish or something. So yeah, make sure you have the opacity down to like whatever number you want. 100 means it's completely black, you can't see through it. And then the lighter it gets, because if you turn it to brown, you're not going to be able to see through the color brown and see the text. However, if you do this, you'll be able to see through the text. So let's say I put it to like the transparency to 23. You can still see it, but it looks darker. Or let's say I put it up to 71. Once again, you can still see it, but it's darker. But if I put it through 100, you can't see through it. And imagine that with the color gray. You're only going to see gray unless you turn down the opacity. So you can put it to gray and then turn down the opacity, but I find it easier just to turn it down so you can see through. So I put it to 64. Okay, let's go to 64. You do that, and then now I would press select none. Okay guys, back from a minute interruption. So okay, back to what I was saying. Do not merge down, because if you do that, you basically screwed yourself up. So now, like, you press the filters, blur, and then Gaussian blur. I don't think it matters which one, but I prefer Gaussian blur. And then you see how hold on, you can also scroll it down just so you see, like right here, that's a preview of like how it's gonna look like. Also, make sure that this chain is on, because once again, that means that if you change the number here, it will match, or it will be like in the same ratio. And okay, and now you can see that the blur is noticeable. But now you want to fix the darkened font. Easy. Just drag down or press the down button for the layer, and there you go. Also, you can also press this I button just to see how it looks like without a certain layer. So if you press it, now you can notice the blur. So now you want to, let's say you want to move the shadow and the fonts, or let's say you want the text to be a little bit off. Go ahead. Or I'm gonna do it more like this. Actually, no, I'm not gonna, but you can. I'm just not going to do it because I personally don't like it that way, but that's just a matter of opinion. So now I would merge down if you want to move the shadow and the text together. So once again, oh, let's see, maybe you're wondering, how do I rotate the text? Like this. You press the rotate, and then you press, you just drag it, or you can just, I press reset, You just put it to a certain number again. I'm going to put it to 12.5 because why not? And then there it is. There it is, guys. That's pretty much all I can think of right now. That's how I mostly make my thumbnails. Now, you know what, guys? Extra tip. One more extra tip before it's over. Let's say you want to change the color of everything. You press the colorize tool. It's not going to pop up here, by the way. So I would recommend going over here. It's going to show right here, colors. Then colorize is right here, the third one from the top. So I would just press that. Now everything is cyan, right? But you don't. If you don't want cyan, you can just change the thing, the slider, like this. Move up the slider. You're not going to be able to see it, by the way. Let me show you the slider. There. You just move the top one, hue, left to right, and that will let you edit the color. I actually kind of like it at this weird bluish purple one. So I'm going to keep it like that. Now the second one, saturation, makes it so it is more, like the color is more popped out. Like let's say there's a picture, right, with black and a sort of reddish color. If you turn up the saturation, the black and the red are going to be more separated. Like this. Or if you want to do it less so it looks more like, if you do it less, then you take away the color completely. You make the color weaker. So you do this. But I personally like it. Actually, it kind of looks cool like this. So I'm going to do that. The lightness, of course, it just makes it brighter, brighter until it's white, or darker, darker until it's black. So I'm going to Control Z. Oh, wait, I can't do that. I'm just going to move it back to 0. Whatever. There it is. That's how you use colorize. Let's say you want to give some color to the wood. You can do that too. There you go. And then the hue, I would pick maybe a more bluish. Or actually, no, I want to make it more realistic, so let's go with a brownish. If I can find a good brown color. Like around there. Saturation, take that away so it looks more wooded. Lightness, take some away. There you go. And there you go. That's how you can make a thumbnail, guys. I am actually pretty proud of this. Now, here's how you actually, let me show you. Because, like, that shadow effect also can work with images, as long as they're PNGs, because then it will look strange with JPEGs. But if you change the JPEGs into a PNG and you erase the area around it, make sure you do it properly, though. Like, thoroughly. Once you're done that, then you can actually do the same thing. So, alpha selection. Once again, take out the buckets. Oh, make sure you put this thing to the top just so it's easier to see what you're doing. Fill it in with the color again. I don't think I did it. Did I? Oh, wait. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Let me just Control Z, which undoes anything. In case if I did something wrong, you know. So, I forgot to put a new layer. New layer? Oh, crap. I pressed new layer from visible. New layer. Grow. I'll put it to 20 just so it's easier to see. I'll use the paint buckets. I think I accidentally selected the wrong layer. There we go. Oh wait, Control Y. There we go. There it is. Back to the thing. Back to shading it into that shadowy color. Now I would just press select none again. That way it doesn't interfere with anything. Make sure that the layer is still selected. Press back to the filters, blur, Gaussian blur I recommend, 75. You got the blur effect back, put it underneath the apple. Merge down so that way you can move all of them together. Where's the merge down? But there it is. I'm sorry that I was slow. Put it underneath, and now you're pretty much set. You can also move it around a little bit if you want, so I'm going to do that. I'll see you. Oh, wait. Before I leave, this is how you save. So first you press let's say you're proud of what you did, right? Or let's say you want to look into your your images later, or you want to save the project because you got to reset the computer or something. So this is how you save the project file. So first of all, you would have to create a folder, and then specifically for where you want to save. Of course, when you're done with that, then find the folder, go inside it, and then put in whatever you want. As you can see where it says insert name here, that's where the file goes, the file name. And then that's, if you press save, yeah, you just press save, it's saved to your computer. But now let me teach you how to export it as a PNG or a JPEG, depending on what you want. So this is how you do it. You press export as, and then a similar thing will pop up. Like if you've already had a folder opened to use, like where to export things, use that one. So I'm gonna put tutorial thumbnail. Well, actually, you guys are not gonna see this. This is probably gonna pop up as the same thing. Insert name here or whatever. Out of all those files, you can just press export. Press it. Now you see what all this is, right? Ignore that. I recommend to ignore that and just press export. But let's say you want to save it as a JPEG. Easy solution. Just change it to just type in JPEG instead of PNG at the end. And now you can press export and it'll give you this interface instead. And the difference is pretty much nothing. With the quality, it's easy to use. Like let's say you wanted to like make the file size a little bit smaller. Just turn down the dial a bit and that's it. That's the easiest to use one. But then again, you can just press export. So once you press export, it's saved. Okay guys, now here we are in my file explorer. I'm gonna go to the YouTube thumbnails, and I think I saved the thing as insert name here, or tutorial thumbnail I put. So I just put that here, and then here's how the finished product looks like this. Oh, I accidentally pressed zoom. So you can just zoom in and out and stuff, and I say it looks pretty good. Also, I would go to full screen. Just wait, this full screen button. Oh wait, you can't really do it on this app. Basically, this is how it looks like. You can view it from your computer, you can upload it. Okay, so let's say I want to upload a video, right? So here I'm uploading just an example video. I'm gonna delete it. Like I'm not actually uploading a video right now. I'm just putting up like a file that I found on my computer. And I am going to quickly wait for it to finish processing for me to be able to add in a thumbnail. Oh wait, no, I think always been able to do it. So you press custom thumbnail, and then you just find the image wherever you saved it. YouTube thumbnails, I put it in, and I put tutorial thumbnail, and then there you go. I would type it in if you want, or you can just look for it by scrolling. You open it, and now it's uploading right here. The thumbnail pops up here, and it might take maybe a couple of minutes for it to come out. It's saving, it's saving, it's saving. It might pop up here any second. There it is. And then you just make sure you go down with your information, like the description, the title, add it to the playlist and stuff, whatever you need to do. Category, monetize if you're a YouTube partner, and then you just press publish, and then it will pop up with that. Anyway, guys, I think that's all I gotta go through. Leave. That's actually a pretty long tutorial, but I just like being very thorough with my tutorials. Despite this being one of my first ones, I think this is my first tutorial ever. But if you want, I will just keep the screen right here actually, so you can see all the thumbnails I've done with the program. These are, by the way, these ones right here that shows the logo of the GIMP, that's just like the files. Like if I open it up, it's just gonna open up the program, and then it's gonna assume that I want to edit it. With the rest, like with these ones that say PNG or any JPEGs, like this one, Happy Wheels and stuff that I found off the internet. Yeah, like these are basically all you got for. These are the finished results, what you exported, what you're gonna use for your videos, because YouTube doesn't accept project files, because it's almost like you're going up to like let's say it's like going up to your boss, right? And you're saying like, oh, here's like the new paper, but then you literally give like, oh wait, no, here's like the essay you give to your teacher, right? You give your teacher an essay, but then you literally like open up like your laptop, right? And then you just show them like the the documents on Microsoft Word or Google Docs. You literally just open up the website or the program. They're not going to accept that. But if you print out the essay and you give them the paper, the physical paper or whatever, they'll accept that. Similar to that, guys. So guys, we just went over through borders, how to add in text, how to add in images, how to combine images into more of a good transition, how to merge layers down, how to add in shadow effects. Let's see, what else? Also, how to distinguish the difference between JPEG and PNG, how to export, how to save, and also how to upload it to YouTube. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If it was, leave a like to let me know, and also if you have any suggestions for what I should have went over or what you want me to go over, go ahead and comment down below, because I was bored and I decided to put a very useful tutorial. So thanks for watching, guys, once again, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the future. Bye.